Tammy Slaton's name has become synonymous with strength, vulnerability, and transformation. As one of the central figures in TLC's hit reality show 1,000-Pound Sisters, Tammy has spent years sharing her deeply personal journey with millions of viewers. The world has watched as she struggled with food addiction, physical limitations, emotional challenges, and ongoing health scares, all while holding on to the hope of a healthier, fuller life. Now, after years of battling the weight that threatened to end her life far too soon, Tammy is not only surviving, she's thriving. Her dramatic weight loss has allowed her to embrace an entirely new chapter that even her most loyal fans didn't see coming. In a heartfelt turn of events, Tammy has fulfilled a dream that once seemed not just unlikely but virtually impossible. This isn't just a milestone for Tammy, it's a moment of personal triumph that reflects her deep transformation inside and out. Tammy's dream-come-true moment did not appear overnight. It was the culmination of years of hardship, pain, and resilience. For much of her life, Tammy was confined to the limited space that her body allowed her. She struggled with mobility, often requiring a wheelchair or walker just to move short distances. Breathing assistance, hospital visits, and episodes of complete immobility had become regular occurrences. Even daily tasks like standing up, bathing, or walking to the kitchen were exhausting. She was often overwhelmed by the physical toll of her weight, coupled with the emotional burden of constantly feeling like she was falling behind, not just in life goals but in the ability to live freely. Fans feared for her life. Doctors warned of imminent danger. Her own family members, including sister Amy, expressed repeated concern over whether Tammy would even survive into her 40s. But something shifted over the last year. Tammy began to take her health more seriously than ever before. After years of false starts and failed attempts, she made the decision to enter a rehabilitation facility that specialized in weight loss and bariatric surgery preparation. The road was not smooth. She faced setbacks, medical complications, and emotional breakdowns. There were moments when she doubted herself, and moments when it seemed like all hope had been lost. But through it all, Tammy kept pushing forward. Her grit and determination began to pay off. Pound by pound, the weight came off not just from her body but from her spirit. She became lighter in every sense of the word, physically, emotionally, and mentally. As her body transformed, so too did her perspective on life. With every pound lost, Tammy gained a renewed sense of purpose. She began to dream again, not just about walking without assistance, but about truly living. She imagined a world where she could travel, fall in love, build a career, and make her mark beyond just being a reality TV personality. And out of all the dreams that began to form, one stood out to Tammy in particular. She wanted to travel by plane, something she had never done as an adult. For many, flying is an everyday experience. But for Tammy, the idea of boarding a plane had always seemed out of reach. Her size made traditional airline seats impossible to use comfortably and safely. She feared the humiliation of being turned away, of not fitting in the seat, of being stared at or whispered about by fellow passengers. More than anything, she feared the disappointment of trying and failing once again. But with her significant weight loss and the progress she had made over the past year, that long-held fear began to diminish. With the encouragement of her doctors, family, and even fans, Tammy decided to make the leap, literally and figuratively. She booked her first ever flight. For someone who once could barely walk to the car without assistance, this was monumental. The preparation for the trip was emotional. She shopped for travel clothes, researched airport procedures, and consulted with airline staff about her accommodations. She filmed parts of the experience for her fans, who had followed her every move with concern and admiration. And when the day finally came, Tammy walked through the airport with determination, boarded the plane, and settled into her seat. No extensions needed, no assistance required, just Tammy and her newfound independence. That flight marked more than just a change in geography. It marked the realization of a dream that Tammy once considered unreachable. For the first time, she felt like she belonged in the world. She wasn't confined to her home or her town. She wasn't limited by her weight or her fears. She was free to explore, to breathe, to chase new experiences. That first trip turned into a cascade of new adventures. Tammy traveled to new cities, visited friends she hadn't seen in years, and even entertained the idea of one day traveling internationally. She took selfies in hotel rooms, laughed while trying new foods, and beamed as she documented each step of the journey. The woman who once lay bedridden, gasping for breath, was now walking through bustling streets and soaking in the sights she had only seen in pictures. Beyond the physical journey, Tammy's transformation has opened the door for new professional opportunities. She has begun working with brands focused on body positivity, health awareness, and women's empowerment. Her voice has become a source of inspiration for others battling obesity or chronic illness. She has given motivational talks, joined social media campaigns, and is reportedly working on a memoir that will chronicle her life in her own words. Tammy, once defined by the label of being one of the 1,000-pound sisters, is now defining herself on her own terms. She has become more than a character on television. She is a symbol of what is possible when resilience meets opportunity. Of course, the journey is far from over. Tammy has been open about the fact that weight loss doesn't solve every problem. She continues to manage mental health issues, emotional eating tendencies, and the ongoing adjustment to her changing body. But these challenges are now being faced from a place of empowerment, not helplessness. Tammy has learned that success is not a straight line. It's messy, painful, and full of detours. But she also knows that dreams are not reserved for the perfect, they are for the persistent. And in that regard, Tammy has proven herself time and time again. Family dynamics have also shifted since her transformation. Amy, who has always been both her sister and caretaker, has expressed a mix of relief and pride in seeing Tammy flourish. For years, Amy carried the emotional weight of watching her sister deteriorate, often putting her own needs on the back burner. Now she can step back and allow Tammy to thrive independently. The sisters have rekindled their bond in a new way, less rooted in survival and more in shared joy. They laugh more, travel together, and celebrate the small wins that once felt out of reach. Other family members, once skeptical of Tammy's ability to change, have offered their support and admiration. Even critics have found themselves moved by her resilience. Tammy's love life, long a source of heartache and drama, has also seen growth. Though she has had difficult relationships in the past, some of which played out painfully,